First question would be to Mr. Bagenstos in regard to the 340B program. Listen to while I lead into the question. Many Iowa hospitals and pharmacists have talked to me about the 340B program, how these drug companies are harming access to it. The 340B drug program is an important program to keep drug costs low and maintain access for patients. Iowa pharmacists and hospitals have communicated to me the administrative burdens that the drug companies have placed on the 340B program. Last year, I pressed the Trump administration to do something. They put out some advisories that were withdrawn. The administration has written to at least 6 companies about what they have to do, and you haven't heard back from the companies. The IG is investigating this. While the Biden administration has taken a different approach from the Trump administration, I want you to know that I appreciate the efforts of the Biden administration. However, timely resolution is needed, or this will have financial impact on hospitals and pharmacies and could even hurt patient access. So I want more transparency in the 340B program. The status quo is not sustainable. So if confirmed, what additional steps could HHS take to protect the program? I hope that HHS has all the tools they need, and if not, do you have recommendations for Congress to act?
Thank you, Senator Grassley, for that question. The 340B program is an incredibly important safety net program to ensure that folks in rural areas and other underserved areas have access to affordable prescription drugs. It matters a lot to me personally. My father actually is from a very small town in rural Iowa. My late father, who died about 10 years ago, is from a small town called Holstein in northwest Iowa, where I'm sure you've been. So I take this matter very seriously personally. I can tell you in this administration, the drug companies that have not been complying with 340B requirements to work with contract pharmacies, as you said, Senator, have been referred for enforcement. One of the important jobs of the General Counsel, should I be confirmed for this position, will be to ensure that those enforcement actions proceed as effectively as they can be. There's also quite a lot of other litigation involving 340B, which the General Counsel will be required to, and should I be confirmed, I'll be required to address. I think it's exceptionally important that this administration confirm its commitment to the 340B program. And Senator, if there are additional tools that are necessary, I can commit to working with you on what those tools might be.
I assume you grew up in Ida Grove or Holstein.
Well, so I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, actually, so the big city by comparison.
Okay. Now, Mr. Frost, some economists and politicians have contended that due to the historically low interest rates, we shouldn't worry about financing new spending. Some even claim that it would be foolish not to spend more money and not to worry about it. However, with our national debt now exceeding the entire size of our economy, even small increases in interest rates would mean trillions of dollars more spent to service that debt. Given the sensitivity of our debt to future interest rate increases, do you agree it would be fiscally foolish to run up our national debt, betting on a wing and prayer that interest rates would remain historically low?
Thank you for the question, Senator. So in the role that I've been nominated for, my principal responsibilities will be to ensure that for any given level of debt, that debt is funded in the most efficient manner possible. If I look at what signal we're getting here from financial markets about what concern is out there about the level of debt and the prospective future level of debt, there's not a lot coming through at this point. The yield curve, or in other words, the level of interest rates to borrow it for shorter term or for a longer term, are both quite low. The yield curve is also quite flat, suggesting that the markets are not terribly concerned by an increase in interest rates in the intermediate to longer term. I believe that if the plans that are being proposed are adopted, I think the administration's proposals would likely result in a modest uptick in the level of debt to GDP over the medium term, but bring it down in the longer run.
I thank my colleague. Next is Senator Menendez.